Tesla stock has more downside ahead, and investors can expect a 25% drop in earnings the coming quarter amid price cuts. And that's according to Gene Muster. If you guys have been following the channel, we've been talking about Tesla quite a bit. It looks bad. I'm sure you guys know this already. And in fact, for some people, and I really get it, you turn over to the Tesla pumper channels, they'll tell you, oh, it's going to go to the moon, it's going to go to the moon. But unfortunately for some of those people, they've lost, and this is one example here, $1.5 million as they watch Tesla stock just basically melt away. And it's a real shame. What I try to do is tell you guys the truth about these things, keep stuff grounded in reality, and help you sort of navigate this crazy world. And I get it, guys. Whatever the news is going to be, the pumpers are going to tell you that it's all good news. But it just doesn't make sense if like everything is good news. It doesn't make sense, right? Basically, Tesla is cutting prices of their cars. And how is that good news? So I guess the pumpers are going to say, well, you cut the price, more people can buy a Tesla. Yes, I get that. I get that, right? That's the idea. But when you cut prices, that means you have a demand problem, right? Right? Because people don't want to buy at that higher price. You're like, okay, fine, I'll cut the price. You have a demand problem. That is a real serious issue. Also, too, when you cut price, it eats at your margins. One of the big things that the pumpers always like to say regarding Tesla is that, you know, it's a car company and they got great margins, right? But then they're cutting their costs, guys. I mean, look at this. Tesla slashes prices up to 20% in broad bid to boost sales. So this isn't like small cuts. It's like a pretty big cut. You can see here. So this is in the USA. The Model 3 is being cut by 6.4%. Model 3 being cut by 14%. Again, it eats at your margins, right? Eats at your profits, eats at your earnings. You guys understand this, right? You're lowering the price of your car. Yes, you might sell more cars, but you're lowering the price of your car. You're cutting on your margins. I hope you understand this. Model Y being cut 19%, right? Model S being cut 9.5%. Model S Plaid 15%. And you can take a look at this here is another headline. Tesla slashes prices in US and Europe to drive demand. And this chart actually shows different countries. So you got Germany, United States, and China here. So in Germany, looks like 12% to 70% cuts in prices. USA at 6 to 20, and then China you're looking at between 6 and 14%. So it looks like USA they're cutting prices there the most. And I understand. I mean, the Tesla pumper boys and girls, they'll come up with some reason why this is good news. But generally speaking, when I read the news, I try to like read the news and like understand what's going on. And price cuts is not a good sign. That's why they're Gene Muster is saying, you know, it could be a 25% drop in Tesla. We've also known that they struggle with their deliveries, and also too they're having a harder time with material costs, right? Input costs going in, be it whatever, be it the lithium, be it labor, any number of things, it starts to add up, right? Costs are going up, and you're lowering the price of these things. You're not making as much money per car. I hope you understand that. Also, too, you take a look at this. I guess they're now having problems with the Chinese government. So this is a political thing. This is real, right? It happens. You piss off the government or do any number of things, they can shut you down whenever they want. It's China. And so basically they're saying like, hey, we're kind of nervous about Starlink, and we're nervous about your cars, and you're going to be tracking said cars. And like, you know, this is kind of ridiculous. To be fair, this is actually pretty ridiculous for Tesla, because they're saying that, you know, Starlink isn't even part of their car technology, but China, the government, they can do whatever they want. So this is not a good thing, and they're basically halting the expansion of one of their factories in Shanghai. They've expanded a couple times, and I guess this third expansion was supposed to double the capacity, but it's not a great sign, right? It's not. Another one example as well, not just Tesla, but the overall growth of the EV market will slow. Basically, you know, you guys are going through a recession. People don't have so much money anymore. And again, Tesla's cutting prices because of the lack of demand. The other thing as well is we've had a couple crazy accidents recently. This one was in San Francisco. It was an 8-car pileup. I saw the footage. Basically, the Tesla just stopped, and the driver told the police that it was on self-driving. And I guess one of the things as well is like when Elon tweets out stuff, people are like, oh, I guess self-driving must work. And then there's a big crash. You know, I to be fair, I don't know exactly that was the case, because again, the report that I read said the driver told the person, but you know, who knows, right? Maybe the driver was just driver error. That's a possibility, but it looked kind of weird though that the car just stopped in the middle of a tunnel, and then all these cars just piled up, and you know, it's not a good thing. One thing that you may or may not know about, which is like, you guys, I'm in Korea, so we get different news than you guys. There's been some big news in Korea. So one was the batteries basically don't work so great in the winter, right? I think you already know that. I've mentioned it before on the channel, and some people have told me, oh, Chris, you're so dumb. Batteries work so great in the cold. You're just stupid. And it's just like, we're talking about physics. Batteries don't work that great in the winter. And so one of the hits on Tesla's always been like, is it a good winter car or not, right? And you get different opinions on that, but I'm saying just batteries don't do so great. This particular thing, though, is an even bigger issue. We've had a problem. This is real, not just Tesla. It's actually all of the EV cars. They're really susceptible to fire and explosions, like real. And this is an issue where it was like an accident. And let me just read the description. You can see the footage for yourself, but it sounds really bad actually when you read it. So it says here, a Tesla exploded just moments after the driver was pulled from a burning wreck by passerby on the highway at the Sejong on Monday. So again, it just exploded. It's kind of like what you see in the movies where they shoot a gun in a car and it blows up. Like that could actually happen with an electric car. Here's more. 55 firefighters and 17 fire trucks were sent to the scene, and it took them an hour and 18 minutes to extinguish the electric vehicle blaze. It is a horrible thing. This is another one, which is, again, probably not going to be big news in the USA, but I'm telling you, here in Korea, it is big news. So basically, the gist of it was, you can see the footage as well. There was a Tesla car that was brought to the service center. The basic gist is that the driver got a warning. The warning was power reduced and driving impossible. Okay, so then the driver calls a tow truck, and this is at like 4:18 on a weekend. I want you guys to get a general sense of the timing. So it started at 1:30. He called the tow truck at 4:18. They arrived at the service center at 4:57 p.m. And then the owner called the emergency services at 5:02 a.m. So this must be the next. Actually, no, sorry, take that back. 4:57 p.m. Sparks started flying under the vehicle. Okay, so they arrived at service center. Sparks started flying. He called emergency service at 5:02 a.m. The firefighters arrived at 5:20. They couldn't open up the vehicle because I guess for the Tesla, like it's different than a regular car where it's hard to open up something if there's no power on. That's just the way these things are built. And then basically what happened after that, it just caught fire, and it took 65 firefighters and 27 vehicles to put out the fire, and it took them 2 hours and 48 minutes. So this is actually going to be a problem going forward for all these EVs, especially imagine, and someone mentioned before in the comments, when like you get a whole bunch of EVs on the road, like imagine if you had an 8-vehicle EV pileup. This is probably something that people don't talk about enough. It is a real serious issue. Like again, I always have to repeat this. I'm not just making random stuff up. This is a serious concern, and it's not just Tesla. I think this is something that we'll be talking about in the future about safety concerns. Also, too, you might have saw this one as well. It's a bit of a funny one, but it is a real thing. Elon Musk breaks world record for largest loss of personal fortune in history. So I guess he lost $182 billion. I'm laughing because it's like so much money. But to be fair, right? Elon lost money too. One thing that's really interesting though is that he has an issue with the Saudis. He's having this thing about like going to court over whether or not he was saying the right, legal things or not regarding taking Tesla private. Evidently, the Saudis don't want to play ball and help him out. And the report said that basically the Saudis too are pissed off regarding the Twitter thing because, I mean, let's be real, guys. I get it. The Tesla pumpers and the Elon pumper, boys and girls, I'll tell you, whatever he does is great. Everything he touches is gold, etc. But let's be honest. You invested in Tesla because you believe in Tesla, right? You didn't invest in Tesla because you want to, buy Twitter. Like whoever says that, they're just freaking lying. It's just a shame. And this is sort of what's going on. I try to keep this real. Tesla was the original meme stock. It was overvalued for a long time. Now the economy is turning. Interest rates are going up, right? So that matters quite a bit, especially for a consumer product. I get it. There's some people out there that say, oh, Chris, you don't get it. Tesla's way more than a car company. Well, maybe. But at this moment in time, they sell cars. That's like over 90% of their earnings. And right now they have to do price cuts, and that's going to hurt their earnings further, and perhaps 25% cut in their earnings. So we'll see. So just want to let you guys know about these things. Love to hear your thoughts on this, and I'll catch you in the next video.